Hello class, today we are going to learn how to find the squares and square roots of a number. We are in page 265 in our arithmetic books. Just a reminder before we move on, you do have to know the area of a rectangle and the area of a square. You also have to know how to find the perimeter of different shapes. So make sure you keep reviewing those formulas that we have already learned. But moving on to our lesson, we are learning how to find the squares and square roots. But we do have to know the facts. So we're learning two things today. Why are we learning two things today and not one? It's because they follow the same concept, but they're going to be kind of different. So first off, let's go and learn the fact of squares. So it says a small 2 written to the right and above a number is an exponent. The exponent 2 means to multiply the number by itself. So you're multiplying that number by itself twice. But moving on to the fact of square root, it says the process that is the opposite of squaring is square root. The symbol, so using this symbol right here, is used to show that a square root is to be found. So that symbol, 25, is read the square root of 25. Some of you are confused. What is a square and what is a square root? I need to see it. So I'm going to show you how to find the square of a number and how to find the square roots. So the first example I have three numbers which are squared. So I have 8 squared, I have 12 squared, and I have 15 squared. So you can see I have a big number and I have a small 2 on the upper right corner. Now that small 2 is the exponent. So first off, what is that small 2 telling me? That small 2 is telling me that I have to multiply my big number twice. So I have to multiply 8 how many times? 2 times. So 8 times 8. So 8 times 8 equals 64. So 8 squared equals what? 64. Now let's go ahead and find 12 squared. So the small 2 is telling me I have to multiply the big number 2 times. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 12. So 12 times 12 equals, very good, 144. But moving on to our last example, we have 15 squared. So this time we are multiplying 15 how many times? 2 times, because the small number is telling us to multiply it 2 times. So 15 times 15 equals what? Let me go ahead and give you some time to do that mentally. So 15 times 15. Good job. So 15 times 15 equals 225. As you can see, I have a big number and a small number. The small number is telling me I have to use that big number and multiply it 2 times. So I'm multiplying the number by itself twice. But moving on to square roots. Like I told you, we follow the same concept of squares. Okay? But it's the complete opposite. So it says the first one I have is square root of 25. As you can see, I have the symbol and I have a number inside that symbol. So it is read square root of 25, square root of 64, and square root of 121. So why does it follow the same concept? The square root of 25 is telling you what number, so blank times blank equals 25. So what number multiplied twice will give you 25? It's 5. So 5 times 5 is going to give you 25. So you can see though, I'm using the same number for my blanks. It has to be the same number. As you can see, I'm using the same concept of what? Of squares. But 5 times 5 equals 25. So the square root of 25 equals what? 5. Okay, so square root of 25 equals 5. So the answer is going to be what's in the blank. So here it is, the next one. I have the square root of 64. Blank times blank equals 64. So what number multiplied twice will give you 64? Again, it has to be the same number. So what number multiplied by itself 2 times will give you 64. It's going to be 8. So 8 times 8 equals 64. So the square root of 64 equals what? Equals 8. Again, the answer is the one in the blank. What number do you have in the blank? That's going to be your answer in the square root. So square root of 25, the answer is 5. The square root of 64, the answer is 8. Now let's go ahead and try to find the answer of square root of 121. So it's telling me what times what will give me 121. It has to be the same number. Very good. 11 times 11. So 11 times 11 will give me 121. So the square root of 121 is 11. So you can see I do follow the same concept whenever I'm finding the squares and the square roots. Make sure you know that concept as you're trying to do your classwork today. Your classwork today is going to be page 265, sections number 2 and 3. Section number 2 and 3. Goodbye.